Hello there, Ringside Crew.
Hey dudes at Ringside Crew, this is Davian.
Hey, it's Jenny Santana here.
This is Alfie.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
Inside Ring!
This is Thomas D. Bruff.
This is Billy Starks.
Mr. Chad Epic.
Megan Mason.
Hey everybody, Scotland's own Brody Adelaide.
The headliner in charge, Marco Mania.
This is your girl Charisma.
Papa Dink, Brendan Dicker.
This is According to Woods.
Savannah Summers.
I'm Shorty.
Catherine inside.
You are watching
The internationally known
Dudes at Ringside podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to episode 205 of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe Panther the Third, and now from the top of Metal Mountain, all the way down to all 50 states and the creepy part of the woods, it's the happy heel himself, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going today?
Not too much, man. You gotta open that portal to the world of the upside down and the world of unknown and Halloween land.
Yeah, the Day of the Dead and all that.
Day of the
stuff.
Dead, man. It's Halloween forever with this lovely wrestler. Because you ready to go, Geegans?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's give a war. Dudes at Ringside, welcome from the Lady of the Dead.
The Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead, La Catrina.
Hello guys.
What's up? How's it going?
Love your skull. Love your skull. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, welcome Dudes at Ringside, by the way, La Catrina. And if our fans aren't familiar with you, introduce yourself.
My name is La Catrina and I represent the Mexican Day of the Dead. I wrestle in Germany. My home promotion is COW. It's Championship of Wrestling. We're based in the western part of Germany. I'm 28 and I wrestle for about 4 years now. And I'm the Sugar Skull.
Awesome.
So, who trained you?
Different trainers. I mostly trained at GHW, also a German promotion. The trainers were Aaron Insane and Sascha Kehl. They're pretty well known in Germany, probably also in Europe. And beside that, I took every seminar that I can get. I trained with Chris Masters, Rene Dupré, Jesse Gabbard,
Wow.
Mr. Kennedy. We had a lot of guys from the States here for seminars, and I took every chance I get to get better with every training.
Training with all legends right there.
Yeah, like tons of legends. Wow, La Catrina. That's awesome. That's so awesome. You're trained by so many legends. Like, is there any advice that they gave you that you you ran with?
Definitely, everyone brought something different, and I try to pick all the information that I can use the best for me. Chris Masters, for example, he really took the time and watched my first match. It was against Kara. That was on the podcast last week,
Yeah.
and he sat down with me and watched the match, and he gave us critiques, what we can do better. This was really cool to have someone like him watch your first match and give you advice. I took everything by heart, and I tried to learn from them. And I always try to get the information that I can use for my character and for myself.
Awesome.
Everyone's digging the character right now in the chat right now. So, character.
Character? What's that? So,
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Geek, did you just feel the hair in your neck goes up the back of your hair? Because
I think I'm being choked a little bit.
you're gonna wake up with snakes on you, Geek. So what? You'll get the next question, Geek.
So, what are your favorite matches that that like what are some of your favorite matches that you love to watch of all time?
You mean stipulation-wise, or just what my faith match is?
Your favorite matches, like your favorite like wrestlers, and say this was my favorite match. That could be anybody.
One of my favorite guys are Jericho and Punk, so their match at WrestleMania is one of my favorites. And pretty every John Moxley match. He's my favorite wrestler. I love to watch his matches. I wouldn't say there's okay. Probably my favorite match is John Cena versus Rob Van Dam at One Night Stand. I think it was 2000.
Classic right there.
This is their energy in the hall is. This is a match that I can watch 100 times and it never gets boring. So I would say this is probably one of my favorite matches.
Yeah, if you ever been to the Hammerstein Ballroom, such an amazing venue right there. A legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing, and the energy in the hall, you can feel it in the venue.
If you ever get a chance to wrestle in New York, the energy in New York wrestling. I'm not saying that the German fans don't have a lot of energy, but if you ever come to America, American wrestling fans have a different. New York wrestling fans have a different type of energy that they bring to the indies scene. It's just like me and Geek last July got introduced to a promotion in Long Island called Victory Pro that we weren't ready for, and the energy was like every match was skyrocketed. Like everybody cheered for everything. Like it was crazy. Like it was super crazy.
Yeah, the stuff they do in that promotion is unbelievable. So.
And they let you run with your gimmicks. If you brought like all your La Catrina energy to that show, the fans would eat you up. They would eat you up every moment of it. They would eat it up.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Geek.
I just asked.
Okay. So where did you get the gimmick for? Where did you get the idea for this? What?
Gimmick? What are you talking?
I mean, where did you get the idea for your the La Catrina gimmick? The idea, like the whole skulls and stuff like that.
So I'm really into Halloween, horror, all kind of that. I like horror movies, splatter movies. I love to get dressed up in different characters, in different costumes. I like to get dressed as serial killer for Halloween. I don't know. I just always had fun with this. And when I thought about what can I do in wrestling, I wanted to be different. I wanted to stick out from the mess, and I wanted to be someone that you remember after the show. And I like the idea of the Mexican Day of the Dead. I looked up the history, and I thought if I paint my face like this and I use the skull, then the fans will remember this after the show. Hey, have you seen this girl with the makeup on? And this is what I want to do. And basically because I like horror, Halloween, and this is why I choose this idea.
Awesome.
Yes, COW pal. Much love for La Catrina, DE.
Awesome.
So, who are some of the wrestlers that you would love to face?
Thunder Rosa would be pretty cool. Britt Baker, she's tough as hell, I think. All time would be Lita, probably. She's really cool. We had the chance to work with Melina from WWE, and this was pretty cool. And I would love to work with Papa Shango in a tag team.
Oh yeah, that definitely.
You know what's funny, La Catrina? Me and Geek were talking about that like right before when we were on the phone. Said, "Oh my gosh, if you and Papa Shango ever had a chance to team up and meet out like at a WrestleMania weekend, oh my gosh, you guys would light it up.
That's definitely a little dream. This would be pretty cool. Just to meet him, I think it would be pretty cool. But to work with him in a tag team,
You should just
awesome.
you should just meet him with the makeup on.
Yeah.
And then just be like, and he would definitely be like, oh crap, that's awesome. You know?
You're gonna tell him, hey, I'm a German wrestler. This is me. This is what I do.
Yeah.
Yes, some people call me the daughter of Papa Shango in Germany as a joke, but I like it.
It works. Like your whole thing is just like really cool, and like when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, we have to have her on our podcast. It's so cool to see the skull makeup and like the smoke and all that stuff. It's just, I find that cool. I think it's awesome. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Geekins.
So what's your favorite food?
My favorite food? I would say sushi. I also like pizza, burgers, but sushi, it's my favorite.
You can hang out with Geek. He loves burgers. I love sushi, so we can hang out with
the mod, right?
Our mod loves sushi. I love sushi, so you can go out for lunch with Geek, have burgers, and then the next day I'll have sushi with me. Or if there's a restaurant that has sushi and burgers at the same time. That's hard to come by. Is there anywhere in the country or the world that you would want to wrestle?
Right now, I just try to get in as much promotions in Germany as possible. I really get around at this time. I would like to wrestle all through Europe. England would be pretty cool, of course. Denmark, Poland, Belgium, France. I would like to wrestle a lot in Europe. This would be pretty cool.
Okay.
So, if you want to talk about your match with the Candy, that match was absolutely awesome. By the way.
Thank you. I really enjoyed this match. It was, I'm sure, I think 3 weeks ago at Serious Pro Wrestling. It's a new promotion in Germany, and it's run by Jessie Garbert, also known as Alpha Female. She wrestled in NXT and at the Mae Young Classic. And it was her first show. She did a really good job as a promoter, I would say. We did something different. The show was on a stage, so the ring was built up on a stage. It was like a theater. Also something different in Germany. I think it was the first time that I've seen the ring built up like this. And it was pretty cool because we also had really big entrances with a lot of possibilities. I got a headpiece with flowers.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That entrance. That's a Geek. You have to watch this entrance.
That entrance with the feathers coming out. That was a sick entrance, by the way. You know.
Thank you. I had really a good time there. And my opponent was Selina Power. She's from Austria or Switzerland. I'm sorry, I don't want to get it wrong. I think she's from Austria. And she's pretty small and flippy. And so it was a really fun match because we went she was flippy and over the top, and we did some technical stuff. In the end, I lost, unfortunately, but it was a pretty cool match.
Awesome. Yeah, that.
Watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, I
definitely highly recommend it.
Everybody has to look up that match. It's a must see. So as well, me and Geek could just say.
Just for the entrance alone.
That entrance, I would just show the Katrina. The entrance.
The match is great too, but the entrance.
The
entrance is awesome. So
but
you have to
both
watch
entrances are cool because you never really get a chance to see an entrance for a wrestler that's in a theater. Like the person came from the back of the theater and walked up.
Yeah. And Selina, she came to the crowd and she got some candy for the fans and popcorn and stuff like that. And it was pretty fun.
She isn't a real bad. She wrestled with a broken nose.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's true. In my first year as a wrestler. We got a big show. It was our biggest show to this time. We got 400 people in the crowd. This was pretty big for Germany. I don't know. And it was a pre-show, and we had a tag team match, and our heads were crushed together, and my nose was crushed against the forehead of my opponent. And I instantly broke my nose. There was a lot of blood, but I didn't recognize it at first. I didn't realize it was broken. So it was just a bloody match, and we go on. And I had another match. I had 2 matches the next day because it was a 2-day show. And after that, I went to the hospital after the 2 days, and they checked my nose and said, "Oh, it's broken. How did you not realize it?" Yeah, so I wrestled 3 matches with a broken nose and didn't know, but it was okay.
Really? Wow. It could have been. I was gonna say it could have been the adrenaline, but you said you wrestled 3 matches with a broken nose, so I'm like, it couldn't be the adrenaline then, right?
Yeah, I went to the doctor that was there at the show, and he touched it and he said, "Oh, it's okay. You would know if it's broken. It would hurt you." And I didn't feel anything. And on Monday, on the work day, I didn't want to go to the hospital because I said, "Yeah, okay, it's fine." And my colleague said, "No, you should go to the hospital. This doesn't look fine." And they checked it up, and it was broken.
So, like, either me and Geek would be like, "I'm broken. Oh God, hospital forever."
I think I'd be done after that. I think I break my nose once, forget it. That's it. I'm done.
So between us fans and the wrestlers, you guys could be like, "My nose is not broken. I'm fine." Doctor goes, "Yeah, you broke your nose." We'd be squirting blood everywhere like that movie.
Oh, you're talking about Kill Bill, right?
Yeah, it'll be like Kill Bill. Crooked face. I'm broken.
It was pretty bloody in the ring, the match when I broke it. And I think also Kara was my, I'm not sure if she was my tag team partner or on the other team. And I could see in her eyes that she was pretty shocked because of the blood. And I looked in her eyes and I said, no, go on. We need to finish the match. It was a pretty weird situation. I don't know, because we all were very green. I think it was my 3rd or 4th match. And it was somewhat weird, but it was a cool experience. I don't know.
Yeah.
It takes like a certain thing, like to be able to do continue a match and be like, you break your nose. That's some energy right there, because as I said, anybody else that breaks their nose in the match, instantly they tell the referee, call for a medic, it's over. Like that's some energy.
Yeah, like John Cena, for example, he like the match he had with Nakamura when Nakamura broke his nose. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And the match was over. I had to end the match, and then Seth Rollins broke his nose that one time.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Also with who was it that broke? Somebody else broke. Oh, didn't Cena break his chest plate or whatever, shoulder? That. See, that's what I'm saying, like Katrina. Not all wrestlers have Katrina energy. They can continue a match. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was a tag team match, and I was afraid if I say I'm out now that the other girls were confused what to do, because, as I said, we were all pretty green, and this was the main reason to go on. And I didn't realize it was that bad. When I went backstage, my husband came to me and told me, go straight to the doctor. And I was confused because, I realized there's blood in my face, but I didn't know that it's that bad.
Jeez.
Like it's as I said, you didn't realize it was that bad. Your husband knew, like immediately, like he knew.
Yeah.
We were done.
Do you have any favorite movies or?
favorite movies. Often horror movies, probably. Freddy vs. Jason, Nightmare on Elm Street. I love those. Amityville Horror. And besides horror movies, I like Gladiator, Walk the Line. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Coco or no?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Coco is such a great movie. It's so sad. I mean, that movie. I mean, not a lot of movies can make me cry, but anything to do with Pixar.
Guess I don't need to show my dad that because my dad would start crying.
Yeah, the ending is very sad, Joe. You know, I'm not going to spoil it. You know, for anyone who's not.
I cry listening to certain songs these days. I'm 38. I cry listening to music. So like I'm listening to the song like this certain old 90s music that I put on and I'm at work blocking a shelf and I start to cry. Like as I'm fixing a shelf. I'm like, no.
I mean, I can't believe they put like that sad stuff in a Disney movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the kid. But it's a sweet movie, but pretty sad at the end. Yeah.
What's up? You cut off. I'm sorry.
What'd you say? She said something about kids. I think she said.
Yeah, because it's a kids movie, but it's pretty sad at the end, like you said.
Yeah,
but
really, such a sad movie.
The movie I'm surprised you didn't say, La Katrina, was Nightmare Before Christmas.
Actually, I haven't watched it. I heard it a cult movie. It's pretty cool, but I don't know. I haven't watched it. I must admit.
That it's a classic right there.
That movie is it's pretty good. Even though it's a kids movie, I have a lot of adult friends that love Jack Skellington, and I know people that actually have tattoos of Jack Skellington like on their arm and stuff like that. Him and his wife. And
I heard that the movies are pretty good. I'm not sure if I haven't watched it. I should do this.
If you have the Disney Channel at your house, you could always watch it. It may be on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Disney Plus. I think it's on Disney.
Oh, Disney Plus. I say Disney Channel. I mean Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You can watch it. Oh, one of our friends just came in. Hey, Meme Mania. Welcome.
What's going on, dude? How's it going?
College.
Yeah.
Yes, Meme Mania.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have any stories from the road?
From the road. Nothing pretty funny, I would say. So yeah, we drive long hours. Also in Germany, we went to Lübeck 2 weeks ago. It was a 7-hour drive. Yesterday we went to IWI. It's a new promotion in Germany. It was just a 4-hour drive, so we were able to get back in the night. Long drives with. Most of the time we drive with our promoter and 1 or 2 trainings from our promotion. But I'm sorry, there's nothing special that happened.
No.
Not really.
Sorry. Do you have any stories for any of your matches? Like
the broken nose is probably the best story. But also wrestling with Melina was pretty cool. It was the second day after the broken nose, so the same show actually. We had a 2-day wrestling festival, I would say, with 4 shows altogether. And we had a lot of fly-ins and also Melina. It was pretty awesome to wrestle with her. We had a tag team match with Laura and Baby Allison. She's also a German wrestler. And it was so cool to be in the ring with someone who's wrestled for WWE and with so much experience. And we talked to her about everything, and she gave us some tips, especially for women. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
And I had the chance to wrestle with Killer Kelly. She's also at NXT now, I think. She's pretty tough. She's from Portugal. Pretty tough girl. It was also cool to work with her. And I had hardcore match with Jesse Garbert and Priscilla Kelly. I think it's now Gigi Goblin or something like that at NXT. Also a pretty tough girl. Was really a hard match with tables, stairs, and weapons. I also liked. I always like stuff like that, and you can do hardcore matches, become tags. And it's pretty cool for the girls if we can do stuff like that too. I always enjoy this.
So you mentioned hardcore matches. Like, what are your favorite matches to do? What are your favorite stipulations?
Yeah, I would say street fight and hardcore. We have done this a couple of times now at most of the time at THW. I like to get it when there are weapons involved and there's some violence and blood. I don't know. I prefer it. But also one-on-one and tag team matches are pretty cool to work. But if there's a chance that we're, I don't know, 4 girls, 5, 6 girls, and there's a lot of chaos and a lot of weapons, I love this. It makes so much fun. I prefer this kind of match.
That's cool.
Who'd you say the toughest opponent is?
Sorry?
Your toughest opponent, like who's like the toughest you ever faced? Someone say, "Damn, they hit really hard."
I would say it was Priscilla Kelly. She's Gigi at NXT UK or NXT now. She was pretty tough, and it was pretty tough working with her. Pretty hard hitting, but it was cool.
It's cool. That's what I meant. Like, you know, like who's like the person that's like hits like the hardest. So, you know,
I would say it was definitely her. And this Garbot always it's hard too, but also always pretty cool to work with her.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
Always safe, and I love her.
But yeah, always safe, obviously. But I'm just saying it's hard though. Yeah, that's what I meant. Joe,
do you play any video games?
Not at all. Actually, I'm not a video playing girl. Not really. I don't enjoy any video games or mobile games.
Oh, okay.
Not for me.
I was gonna ask if anybody's ever made you in a video game because I may make you. I'm thinking about it.
Actually, yes. At the WWE games, and you can make your own character or make your own wrestler. And there are some parents who made up La Catrina there. This is pretty cool. And then I have wrestled as myself in the video game, because this was pretty awesome, of course.
I'm definitely gonna look for you when I get done on the podcast with you because I've found like 5 or 6 British wrestlers that we've had on Dudes at Ringside. So I could have a Dudes at Ringside Royal Rumble Battle Royal. Have you in it, Kiara, Shorty, Alpha.
Yeah, I think you can download me as a character. I think it was the last game where you can download some and the fan made it up there. Yeah.
So they had to have made the new one because the new one just came out like last month, Geek, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna check it out when we're done.
Yeah. If you could cast a spell on Dudes at Ringside podcast, what kind of spell would it be?
What kind of spells?
What kind of spell would you want? What kind of spell would you put on us?
Not sure what you mean. I'm sorry.
Oh, like I said,
spell of what?
Yeah, like the voodoo, you know, like the voodoo.
I mean, happy Geek. Don't get her.
I don't want to do this. No, you're such nice. No spell for you.
Okay, we passed, Joe. We passed.
The cool necklace stopped her, Geek.
I guess the healing geek. That's what it is, right?
You know, they sense my grandfather's happy wrestling spirit, and he's like, no spells on my grandson.
No spells, right?
My grandfather was a professional wrestler in the 50s and 60s, so that's how I get the third. Yeah, in New York City.
Ooh, pretty cool.
Yeah, he was a lucha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He wrestled under Vince McMahon's dad.
Oh.
Yeah. He was one of the not original luchas, but he was one of his luchas in the old WWF.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on intergender wrestling?
It's difficult. Yesterday I had an intergender tag team match, so guy and girl against guy and girl. I think this works pretty well because we can really tell a story with this. It gets difficult when you have a guy versus a girl because you always have the size difference and the strength difference. We can tell great stories with it, of course, but one-on-one is difficult to wrestle, I would say. I haven't done it before, so I didn't have a match one-on-one against a guy. But I think in a tag team match or in a rumble, we can do this and we can tell great stories with intergender wrestling.
Like, me and Geek both love intergender wrestling, but you're right. Like, it's really hard to like do a story for intergender wrestling. Sometimes the certain size wrestler, am I right, Geek? Like, if it's someone that's like a 7-foot monster has to take on like a woman that's about like 5'1", that's really difficult to do a story unless you're doing it like a Rey Mysterio Big Show storyline. Like, how would you believe that? Like,
it's unrealistic and it's pretty hard to tell. It's in a match, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be for the right reason, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a good background story, and you can tell this in the ring. Then I think it can be really cool, but it's hard to do it, I would say.
Yeah. Totally.
Do you have any upcoming shows or?
At our own promotion, we got the next show in May, the last weekend in May. We have the next show planned for our promotion. In 2 weeks, I'm at GPW, GWP, German Wrestling Promotion in Schwabach. This is the next match. And I will defend my title in May on the next show of our promotion of COW.
I have one more question before. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Tough question. I'm realistic. I don't plan on being a full-time professional wrestler. I like to do it aside my normal job. I want to have as many matches as I can during the next years and visit as many promotions, maybe win more titles. Just trying to have fun and get more experience and wrestle as much as I can. And,
yeah. For my final question, I want to say, like, what's the best advice someone gave you?
The best advice?
Yeah.
Tough question. I need to think about it. Not sure. Sorry.
Or like, if there's like wrestlers that are coming up in the future that you could train, who's like, what's the advice you give to them?
Shows a character that fits you and try to be different. Try to be someone else and not like all the other wrestlers that you have 10 times on the card, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
And is there any social medias you want to promote? Or?
Any what?
Social
Would you
media,
have any
like
social medias you want to promote?
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at like a female wrestling or at my Facebook page, also like a female wrestling. I'm really creative. And you can follow my home promotion, COW, it's Championship of Wrestling in Germany.
Okay.
we want to thank you so much for coming on our podcast, Katrina, and taking the time out.
It's
We
an
really
honor to have you come on the podcast, like Katrina. Like, you don't always get a chance to speak to wrestlers in Germany. We've spoken to quite a few, but your energy is different than everybody else's. We feel more of it's a welcoming to us because we love dark character. I love dark characters. To me, it's a welcoming character. It welcomes me in more than scares me away. Like,
Thank you very much for inviting me to the podcast. I had a really great time. Thank you.
you're welcome.
I'm Metal Geek.
I'm Joe Panther III, and
I'm like Katrina.
we will see you in the next one.